Hello and welcome to class today. Our topic today is mineral resources and agricultural resources. Mineral resources and agricultural resources. So, in today's topic, we're going to learn about the meaning of mineral resources, Nigeria's main mineral resources and their uses, agricultural resources, and the types of agricultural resources as well as their uses. Okay, so those are the things we're going to learn about today. Now, what are mineral resources? Mineral resources are non living things not made by man that can usually be found underneath the earth, which are very useful to man. Okay, so mineral resources are found underneath the earth. Okay, they are not made by man and they are non living things, but they are very useful. They are very useful. They can be converted into many things, okay, which are useful to us. Okay, so now let's look at some of Nigeria's main natural resources and their uses. Okay, this is I think for now, this is the most important mineral resource to us here in Nigeria, which is the crude oil. We get a lot of things from the crude oil, but before we talk about that, let's look at where we get crude oil from in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we can find crude oil in the Niger Delta region, okay, and we can get petrol, diesel, and kerosene from crude oil. Okay, so another mineral resource that we have in Nigeria is the iron ore. Iron ore can be found in Kogi. Okay, and we use the iron ore in making steel. Okay, this is another natural resource, and it is salt. Salt is a natural resource. Okay, and it can be found in Delta, Rivers, and Bayelsa. Another one I have here, another mineral resource is tin. It can be found in Plateau State. Okay, tin can be found in Plateau State. Now let's go over to agricultural resources. What are agricultural resources? Agricultural resources are living things which are not human, which are valuable to us. Okay, I had to state that they are not human. Okay, they are living things, but they are not human. So any living thing that is not human, which is valuable to us, is an agricultural resource. And we're going to look at the types of agricultural. Okay, before we talk about that, now before the discovery of crude oil in Nigeria, agriculture was the major source of income to the country. Okay, but after the discovery of crude oil, the one I told you is the most important mineral resource to us in Nigeria. Before the discovery of this crude oil, agriculture was the major source of income. So after the discovery of crude oil, everybody abandoned agriculture because of crude oil, which is very bad. Okay, now let's look at the types of agricultural resources. We have as types of agricultural resources, we have crops. Okay, we have crops and livestock or animals. Okay, and there are two types of crops. We have food crops and cash crops. Okay, food crops are crops that we grow to eat. Okay, food crops are crops that are grown to be eaten, and you can see some examples of food crops. We have here tomatoes, corn, and yam. Okay, while cash crops are crops that are grown to be sold for income, and they are used to make other things. You can see some examples of cash crops here, like the rubber tree, cotton, and palm tree. Okay, these things can be used to make other things. Okay, so they are cash crops. Uh, Agricultural resources are very important to us. The crops. Okay, before we talk about that, you can also see this is timber. This is a timber plant, and from the timber plant we get woods. From the timber plants we get woods, and we use these woods or these trees to do lots of things. You can see here what we can get from the timber plant. From the timber plant we can get woods, which we use. Some people use it in cooking. That's the firewood. They use firewood in cooking. Okay, we need wood to make our furniture. So we need wood to build our houses, and we get all that from the timber plant, which is an agricultural resource. Okay, so we have seen we have seen the types of crops that we have. Okay, and trees are also very important because we get from the leaves in trees, we can get medicine, we can the medications we use when we are not fine, we get them from the backs of trees and the leaves of trees. Okay, and one other important use of trees, that trees produce oxygen. The oxygen we breathe in as humans is produced by trees. Okay, trees breathe in sorry trees produce oxygen which we breathe in, and they take in carbon dioxide. Okay, so when we breathe out carbon dioxide, trees absorb the carbon dioxide, and then in return they give us the oxygen that we need to breathe, to be alive. So you can see that agricultural resources, trees, the crops are very important. Okay, now let's look at the second type of agricultural resource. We have just been talking about crops. We mentioned that there are two types of agricultural resources, which are crops and livestock. So we've talked about crops, food crops and cash crops and their uses. Okay, we get food from food crops, and we get so many things from cash crops, which we have mentioned. Okay, from the timber plants we can get woods to make furniture, houses, firewood and pencils. Okay, I didn't mention that before. We can also make pencils from firewood and tissue paper, lots of things that we can get from trees. Very important. So now let's go over to livestock. Okay, livestock are the animals that we rear. Okay, and they are also agricultural resources. We can see some livestock here. These are the first one I have here is poultry. Okay, we get meat and eggs from chickens. Okay, then you can see a goat in the background. It's also an animal which we get meat from. Okay, you can see sheep, you can see cows. These are all examples of agricultural resources. From the cow we can get meat, we can get milk, and we can get leather, which we use in making our bags, our shoes, our belts. Okay, that's hide and skin. Okay, then these are other animals that we get from agriculture. Okay, this is a camel, and these are horses. We use these animals for transportation. They can carry heavy loads for us and travel long distances. Okay, so you can see that agricultural resources are very important. In today's lesson, we have learned about Nigeria's major mineral resources, the meaning of mineral resources. We learned that mineral resources are non-living things. Mineral resources are non-living things which are useful to man, and they can be found underneath the earth. Okay, why agricultural resources are living things. Okay, they are living things. They are not humans, but they are living things. Okay, so the difference between mineral resources and agricultural resources is that mineral resources are non-living things, while agricultural resources are living things. Okay, which are useful to us. Okay, and we have learned about the major mineral resources in Nigeria. We talked and where they can be found. Okay, and then we also talked about agricultural resources and their uses. Okay, so with that we have come to the end of the class. Thank you very much for being a part of it. To ensure to complete your quiz and do your assignments. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time having you this term. Thank you once more. Bye bye.